Hi, my name is Olufemi Shei. I'm a real estate salesman. I buy, build, sell real estate for profit, both for investors and for myself. Now, today I'm going to be talking about a very important conversation in sales, particularly real estate sales, which is where I play. And that is the concept of cold calling. You see, cold calling is a fact of sales. If you're a business person, you are going to have to one day pick up your call and reach out to one person you might not have known before. And that essentially is cold calling. Today, on the cold calling part of it, I'm referring to you if you're a salesperson and or you an aspiring salesperson or aspiring realtor, and you find it very difficult to actually reach out to people you do not know to come and invest with you or to come and buy your product. You would actually do well to listen, because one of the major challenges in the industry, and a lot of time when I meet realtors, whether even experienced one or aspiring, they tell me that is a major problem. How do you pick up your phone and call one person who doesn't know you, who doesn't care about you or your product, and you get them to be interested in your product and then to buy your product? This skill is very important if you want to succeed as a realtor or as a salesperson. But generally, even if you want to succeed in life, you need to be able to get to that point where you can pick up your call, reach out to people you do not know, ask for what you need from them, and then get them to gladly give you what you need. So there are about 5 steps that I'm going to tell you in this video that will turbocharge your cold calling career. But before I go to those 5 steps, let me quickly say this. The best way to actually get more sales is to warm up your leads or warm up your contact even before you get to call them. And I won't be able to discuss how do you warm up people you don't even know in this video. I will be talking about that next. So you want to actually subscribe to our channel so that you can actually get the next video. So what are those 5 steps? The first step and the most important step that most people miss is that to have a script. Every game you see as a script. Every video, every quality film, solid film you see starts from getting a script. Even football comes from getting a strategy. The coach would have taken a look at the opponent and then would have said, okay, this is how they play. This is the play script, and that is what the players would do. So you as a person, you must have a script. How do I want to introduce myself? How do I want to introduce a product? How do I want to talk about this and that? And one of those things you want to do is to ask yourself, I'm calling this person. What is the motivation of this person, and how do I address that? And that is number one. You can also do your script from the frequently asked questions. So in the course of the conversation, you're like, okay, now this is a common question that is usually asked, and I'm going to actually prefer answer. And then you put it inside your script, and then you do your script. And then once you have it, you want to read it and edit it over a period of time until you master it. And that is number one step. Have a script. Most salespeople actually miss this part. So if you are a salesperson, a realtor, or even a CEO and an SME founder, you need to ask yourself, do I have a script for my salespeople? Do I have a script for myself when I reach out to call? Take time to write that down. The art of writing it down, that simple step would actually reduce your chance of failure by more than 50 or 60%. That is number one. Number 2 is to rehearse. Most people never get to that point. If you're going to have a 30-minute conversation, I would encourage you to rehearse at least 1 hour using your sales script. And you want to actually run through the entire process from beginning to end. From once you say, hello, my name is this person, to when you say, thank you for taking time to receive my call. You want to rehearse that particular script. Most people miss this one because you think, oh, am I not the same person that created the product? I'm the same person that wrote the script, and then you don't realize. One of the things I tell salespeople in trainings or in conversation mentorship session is to say, you know what, why don't you stand in front of camera? Why don't you stand in front of your assistant? Stand up and run through the scripts that you have, and then from beginning to end. Another way to rehearse is to actually what you call role play. You want to stand with a colleague, you want to stand with a friend, you want to stand with someone and say, let me try to make this call to you. And then you go back and forth. The person asks, ask the customer, and then you answer the question, run through your script, let them criticize you, and so on and so forth. The other one is to now do a solo rehearsal yourself. Stand in front of a mirror and then do that. Look at what your posture is, because sometimes your posture affects even the way you sound on the phone. And really, when you're doing cold calling, the person on the other side of the phone does not know you, but is judging you on the basis of how you sound, on the basis of your tone, on the basis of your energy, on the basis of whether you're smiling during the call or not. We won't be able to go into details of how you do your phone call, because you'll be shocked that simply standing up can actually bring more energy to your call. Simply smiling will make the conversation a bit more pleasant for the other person on the phone, and the energy in your conversation and your pace can determine whether the person will tune off from the moment you start speaking with them or not. But we're not touching all those ones. So I said the second thing is to rehearse. Part of rehearsal is what you call role play. That is one way to actually turbocharge your cold calling process and to make it more successful. The third one is to research. Most people never do that. Now that you've written your script and you have rehearsed, you understand what to say, you understand how to say, you understand the tonation, the energy, your colleagues have critic. The next thing is actually to go do your research. Remember that you wrote a script, you rehearsed what you're going to say, but when you're having a communication with the person, what you know about the person sometimes is more important than what you have to say, because the more you know about that person, the better your communication. It's very simple. If I walk up to you today at the bar and I sit with you and I say, your name is Corrit and you are 24 years old and you live in this place, you want to be the best movie producer out of Africa. Now, the fact that I know about you that much, you first of all want to listen to me. No matter how busy you are, you stop on your track. And actually what it does is to warm the person up. So you must do your research. Now, the basic framework for doing research, we won't go into the basic framework today. If you are subscribed to this channel, you want to go back and look at the video we did on the MANT framework, because those are the basic element of research that you need to do. So apart from following that MANT framework, you also want to ask, what is the motivation of the person I'm about to call? What does this person do, and what are they looking at in terms of investment? Part of the conversation I want to do. I'm talking if you're a realtor now. You want to first of all understand that, and data platform fortunately provide us enough information that we can use to track, to find out about anybody, what they've done, what they're doing, what they want to do, and where they've been, and what potentially they might be looking at. A lot of people miss that part. I keep saying that if you are going to have a 30 minutes conversation, you want to have at least an hour long or more of researching to understand exactly what that person most likely is all about. Most people actually miss this point, and if you're missing this point, you reduce your chance of success even as a cold call person. But if you can do your research, you can get to that point where you know about them fairly well, from basic things like, which school do they attend, who's their friend, the friends that you have in common, what common activity do you have. Those things will be infused into your script before you finally call that person. Please take time to do that. Number four thing that you should do if you want to improve your chance of success, and this is what I do, and I significantly improve my chance of success, is to actually schedule my call. So how do you schedule your call? Is it that you want to send a text, you want to send a WhatsApp message, or you want to drop an email that my name is this, I would love to speak with you, it's 2 o'clock, okay. But please, when you're scheduling, you need to make sure that you're holding the power. And what do I mean? I've seen salespeople who call me and I say, I would love to speak with you. Kindly call, let me know the best time to call you. And then you leave it at that, hoping that that person would actually get back to say and say 2 o'clock is okay. It's most likely not going to happen because everybody is busy. Nobody cares about the products you have to sell or the conversation. They have enough challenges that they are facing. So what you want to do is to either send an email to say, thank you for, I got your number from so. Thank you for taking time to read my email. I would love to schedule a call with you by 2 o'clock on Tuesday. And then you schedule, you can actually include a Google Calendar there if you know how to use a Google Calendar. Now the onus is on them to say, 2 o'clock on Tuesday is not appropriate for me. Why don't you do 2 o'clock on Wednesday? Or if they do not respond, you not call on Tuesday by 2 o'clock. Say, I sent you an email before. I called, I notified you that I was going to call, so I'm calling based on the schedule we have. Now, what that does is to obligate them to listen to you a bit, particularly for those who are cautious, who are interested in what you have to sell or being in that field. Or to say, I'm busy now. Why don't you do it at 4 o'clock? The fact that you even had that conversation with them, you have tried scheduling, first of all, it shows that you're a professional, and it makes them respect you, and then gives them like an obligation to listen to what you have to say, because a scheduled call is respected by people. It becomes a thing between the two of you. and then makes you a bit more professional, a bit more courteous as a realtor. So that is what you need. You want to schedule, but when you're scheduling, please remember, do not leave the power in the hand of the person you want to call. Make sure you're saying you are the one determining the time. You're the one actually saying this is the time I will call you. And then once you do that, you want to actually call at that time. You don't want to call later than the time that you fix. Remember, you are the one that fixed that call. And then the fifth point when you're doing your cold call is to have a clear-cut goal. What do you want to achieve during this conversation? Most people never sit down and say, what exactly do I want to achieve during this conversation? For example, if you're calling somebody for the first time, do you want to inform them about your product, or do you want to listen to what they want to say about the product or the service or the conversation you want to have with them? You want to actually establish that goal, or you want to schedule a physical meeting with them or a Zoom meeting with them. You need to be very clear. This is what I want to achieve, so that when you are reviewing your script, it's easy to track it. Will this script help me to achieve this goal? If your goal is to close, then you don't want to waste too much of time talking about things that are not relevant to the closure. And the last or bonus point I'm going to say in this video is very simple. That when you make your call, particularly if it's cold call, remember the person that asks the most question end up winning most of the time. So the goal of the cold call is to actually understand the person you are talking to, understand their motivation more. You already have an idea, you want to understand their motivation more. So you're asking questions. Oh, I got your number from so person. It said you may be interested in this house or this land that we have on offer. Or I got your number online. I thought this investment product would be appropriate for you, but I would like to ask some few questions. I will take 5 minutes of your time. And that's, let me quickly digress here. Once you are making that call, it's not just to load them with what they, what you want to know. You want to understand them. You want to ask okay, can I ask some few questions? But please remember, when you're making that call, you want to say, once the person pick a scheduled call, you want to say, thank you for picking this call. And you want to state the time. I'm going to be speaking with you for 5 minutes. Do I have your permission to proceed? Once you do that, the person knows, this person knows what he's doing. He's speaking with me for 5 minutes. I can spare 5 minutes. And then you want to ask your question. I know that I got your number because you indicated interest in this my need, or somebody gave me your number, said you might be interested. Whatever it is, the reason why you're calling, which should be part of your script originally. When I say, so I'd like to ask 1 or 2 questions. This investment that we're offering has the potential to do this. Is this something that is of interest to you? And the person says, oh, it's of interest to me. Then you go on to ask us, what are you looking at? And you would have built that into your script, and then you ask more of questions, trying to understand the person. Cold calling should be more of consultation. Your first consultation, if you go to see a doctor, what do? You say, you try to establish what is the issue. Do you feel cool? Do you do that? Do you do this? Do you do that? And I say, okay, this is what I think is the issue. The same way, cold calling is a consultative approach. You want to ask those questions. I want to say, okay, based on what you've said, I want to suggest that we go in this direction. You can apply this framework, whether it's sales, whether it's just engagement for partnership, and so on and so forth. There's this salesperson that I came in contact with recently, and it's one of the best sales process for cold call. Well, technically cold. And then what he did was, first of all, call me and say, look, I know you're busy, but I'm going to send you some certain questions. If you don't mind answering, just going to take 1 or 2 minutes to answer. He sent me like a WhatsApp pool and say, okay, indicate the kind of property you're interested in, your budget, your location. And it was easy. And I said, okay, based on everything you've said, I would love to send a voice message to you. And then he sent a voice message explaining his solution. Even if I don't buy, I know that this person is a very good salesperson. And that is the way they approach to it. We're going to be talking about how you warm up cold prospect before you even call them. We're going to be doing that in the next video. So you want to actually tag along. You want to make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. And then I think with that, we've gotten to the end of cold calling, how I turbocharge my success and how you can actually double your results. Until I see you next video, have a productive time.